right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, from Google, the self-help guru, Ellie Powers, talking about how to get over your crippling fear of sand. This guy needs a drink ticket.
Hi, everybody. It's really great to be here. I know a lot of you had to wait in line, you had to buy a ticket, but we all have the same fear. They said it wasn't going to rain. They said El Niño wasn't going to come. They said we were all going to run out of water. And they were right, okay? They were right, because even though it may be raining now, we know that this is only temporary. We know that this is fleeting. And has anyone in the audience been to Beijing recently? Anyone been to Beijing? Yeah? You remember the Olympics? When the sand started to roll in? When they couldn't see the sky? Do you know why that was happening? Well, it's because they didn't get rain either. And that's right, California. As much as we may feel the rain pouring down now, we know it's not going to last. And pretty soon, we're going to end up like them in a desert covered with sand. And this is what San Francisco's going to look like at that point. Let's all take a deep breath, okay? I know if we just all join our spirits together, we can get through this. So let's just take a deep breath and take a look at what our worst fear is going to look like. We need to stare fear in the face. Yeah. In those moments of catastrophe, in those moments of weakness, in those moments, we find our strongest self. Here I am, confronting my demon in front of the ruined city of San Francisco as the elephant who lacked a forest and has come into San Francisco trying to escape the sand. He is trying to vanquish me. And I looked deep inside and said, I will not die. I will be victorious. And so I grew a belt, and that belt was black. And I was not stopped. I was not stopped, and all of you will not be stopped either. We'll be victorious over the sand. But we must prepare for it. We must prepare. And this is how we will do it. I took a personality test when I applied to Google. And they told me that I was of an analytical mindset. And they were correct. Because as you can see, I have been tracking the level of sand that we've been experiencing from year to year. And I have been able to correlate that with a number of deaths. And as you know, the sand is going to come for all of us. In fact, it will. But we will be victorious. We will not die. Because we are going to prepare. So we must look here into the expected and the observed deaths. And we must embrace them. And we must be saying, fear, I see you, and I do not back down. I will prepare for you. I will be ready. I will assume my black belt position like this, and I will move forward. So, now what you may want to know next is, how can you talk to your families about this? How can you talk to them about the sand? I was very ashamed when I discovered that it was the sand that had been coming through my nightmares. It was not simply a matter of fear of falling. It was not the person chasing me down the dark alley. In fact, when I turned around and saw that person, I thought, chasing me down the dark alley, it was the sand. And I was very nervous to go and speak with other people about this. I knew that they would judge me because they would say, no, Ellie, it's going to rain. Our reservoirs are going to refill, and there was going to be no problem. But as we all know, our fear of sand is real, and we must be able to speak with our families. This is the best way to go about the conversation with your family. It's very difficult to watch. I mean, you put out that idea in front of them. You show them that sand website showing them that the sand is real. And what do? They fling it across the table. Like that. And they say, no, El Nino is going to come and save us. We aren't going to be like Beijing. We will not be buried in the sand. Oh, no. And it's devastating, isn't it? Madam, I can tell by the way that you're looking at me that you had this exact experience that I did. I know. It was so hard for you. Your family turned to you and said, you're overreacting. You don't believe any of this stuff, do you? You haven't been going to those websites. We all know about those websites. Our organization's website is sometimes called one of those websites, isn't it? It's very upsetting. We're trying to work with Google to remove that warning label in the web browser. Microsoft has been more amenable to our concerns, but they're threatening to reverse their decision. This is very troubling for me. So when you do go and speak with your families, you need to speak from the heart. You need to show them the best websites. You need to explain to them about the sand. You need to show them the graphs. But you need to tell them not to be afraid, just that they need to be ready. Now, there is a better future that's waiting for all of us. And let's take a look at that now. As you can see here, the architect has drawn excellent plans for a bomb shelter that will protect only the people in this room from the sand. We must sit in very precise positions so that the sand is not able to get in, that we don't create too much of a disturbance that would create a suction effect and pull the sand deeply into the shelter. Now, you can see here that there's only about 2 people here, but they do have a lovely view of the fireplace. Now, with rents rising in San Francisco, it may be very difficult to figure out where we're going to fit this, but we do have some new equipment that will allow us to dig deep tunnels, and we will be able to create these shelters so that we will be safe from the sand. But in these dark times, while we're living underground, preventing the sand from getting into us, the most important thing that we can do is to dream of a better future and to dream of all of the wonderful things that we're going to be able to do when the sand finally goes away, right? Maybe El Nino will come. Maybe we'll be able to get over this. Maybe there'll be a better life. Let's look at what that's going to be. As you can see, Robert is trying to escape from the shelter, but Sheila knows that it isn't safe yet. What we're trying to say here is that we're going to develop very close friendships while we're in the bomb shelter. I think someone spoke with you about some of the details earlier. And what we're going to be able to do there is to really form a new community, a community where people are respectful, a community where people are empowered, a community where people are free from fear. And sand. Sand will be only a distant memory. There will be no more sandboxes. There will be no more beaches. There will be no more deserts. And you know what? Your socks are never going to feel horrible again because they're full of that unnameable substance. You will never cough upset again because all of our beaches will be covered with wonderful rubber pellets. So think about that future. Think about that. And then when you get home today and you speak with your families about the fear that's coming with sand, and you ask them for their financial contribution to be able to attend this next seminar where we go into more details about the 10-step process of sand abatement, the 18-step process of sand realization, the 975-step process of spam and sand differentiation. As they write their checks to me, my full name is the Ellie Powers Sand LLC. It'll be available on a business card on your way out. We will truly be able to conquer this horrible problem. You never have to be afraid of sand again. And you know what? If you are, we are afraid together. And that makes us stronger. So with me, let's assume the position. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
One more time for Google's Ellie Powers. Wow, that made a lot of sense. It really did.